So what is a clutch kick? A clutch kick is a super important tool for drifting, guys. It's basically what it sounds like, but you're not kicking it. It's really more of a clutch push. You're pushing in the clutch, which is disrupting the powertrain, and it's used for many different things. The most common way is for entering drifts. So when you're coming in, let's take this corner, we're gonna kind of start turning left into the corner, and if you're on throttle and you push in the clutch, it's gonna disrupt the rear tires and kind of send that back end out, and then you can get on throttle and start drifting. It's also used mid-drift, especially for cars like this. If you're a turb ski guy, like this guy, or even low power, you're gonna use the clutch kick to actually, let's say you're kind of bogging out and you're in a lower down in the RPMs, you can actually push the clutch in while you're on throttle, and it'll kind of spin the tires and get you back up into that like nice torque curve. So how does the clutch kick actually work? This is kind of interesting. A lot of you guys might know this, but if you're new to drifting and newer to cars, let's explain it. So basically the clutch is what ties your motor to your rear wheels, and it goes basically motor, flywheel, clutch, transmission, drive shaft, the differential, axles, and then the wheels. And so the clutch is the part where you can engage and disengage the motor from the rear wheels. So when you are on throttle and you push in the clutch, you're basically disengaging it and then abruptly re-engaging it. And that's kind of why the tires will like chirp up. And if you're on throttle with it, it's gonna allow the RPMs to rise when the clutch is disengaged. And then when you come back in, it'll basically get back engaged, and there's your clutch kick. So it's not as abusive as you would think on your clutch. If you're going crazy and you're like dumping the clutch and doing all sorts of stuff, then yes, that's very abusive. But when you're on throttle and you're just kind of pushing it in and using it to initiate a drift or to up the revs, it's not gonna be like an absurd amount of wear and tear on your clutch. If this is your daily driver, you shouldn't be drifting it anyways a lot, you know, but on your dedicated track car or the car you're using at the track, it doesn't really wear it down like you would think, and it really is a critical technique for drifting. So I like to practice this technique, as many of these techniques, with your car off. This is something you can do in your garage, you know, before you hit the track and figure it out. So basically with clutch kick, if we're using it for an initiation, let's start there. We're gonna be coming down the track, we're probably in second gear. We're on throttle, you know, maybe, let's say 50%. When we start turning into the corner, we're gonna push the clutch in. You don't actually have to go all the way to the floor, but you can just kind of push to where it's like that engagement point. You should be able to feel it. If you don't quite know where that is, turn your car on, put it in first gear, be outside of your garage, and slowly let your clutch out and feel kind of where it starts engaging, and then you kind of learn that point. But eventually you get a feel for it. And so really you're just practicing that kind of movement, and it's not a freaking, that's how you break stuff, okay? That's how you break your clutch pedal, I've seen that. Break the cylinder, all sorts of, so it really is more just a push, you know, like that. And you can kind of modulate it as well if you need to get the throttle to go up more. So basically the longer it's like here, the more the revs are gonna go up. So if you need to go a little bit longer, you kind of hold it in there and then come out. But it really is more of a clutch push. If you're mid-drift, similar thing, but it can be done a lot less aggressively. So if you just wanna like get the RPMs up a little bit and you're mid-drift, you could just kind of go and just push it a little bit, and then if you need a little bit more, just give it a little bit more clutch, maybe a little bit more throttle. But that's really it. The key though is to stay on throttle when you do the clutch kick. Not full throttle though, that is where you'll break and it's unnecessary. But if you come off throttle and just clutch kick, really nothing's gonna happen. The wheels might chirp, but your RPMs are gonna go up. You need to be on throttle when you're doing it. But again, this is something you can just kind of practice with the car off and just kind of get used to the feeling. Guys, there's not much more to say about it. You just gotta get out on track, go practice it for yourself. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Check out all our other videos. We're uploading 5 times a week now. That was 10, but it's a lot. So I hope you guys enjoy this. If you have any questions, comment below. We're here to help, and we'll see you guys in a couple days. Peace.